what's going on with the next stimulus package, which will be, or which has been announced, at $3.5 trillion and will be the largest stimulus package yet to date. The Democrats will be passing the next stimulus package on their own through the reconciliation process because the Democrats are in charge or in control of the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the presidency. And that is how the third stimulus check package was passed as well. The House, the Senate, and the presidency was all passed without a single Republican vote, which is a stark difference between last year when the Republicans controlled the Senate and the presidency. They controlled 2 out of the 3 last year. So this next stimulus package will be passed through the reconciliation process, which will be passed you know, without a single Republican vote. So, yeah, things are very different than last year. So, yeah, we're going to be giving you guys an update on that, as well as a very shocking change of events for an unemployment lawsuit in one state. And we're also going to be hearing from Senator Bernie Sanders on the stimulus package. Okay, wow. An Indiana Court of Appeals says that the Indiana Governor Holcomb can end unemployment benefits, but payment continues. Wow. Check this out. The Indiana Court of Appeals has reversed a lower court's ruling that required Governor Eric Holcomb and the Department of Workforce Development to reinstate federal unemployment benefits. However, with 2.5 weeks until the federal program ends, the Department of Workforce Development will have to pay out the benefits because they won't have enough time to provide the required 30-day notice to end the program. Wow. It's almost like you can't make this stuff up. Quote, given that we're just a couple weeks away from the end of the given period, there's no reason, in my opinion, to cancel the benefits for these unemployment benefits, said, I believe that's Reverend David Green, the president of the Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis, which brought the lawsuit against the state. Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis and 4 individuals sued the state in June to get the benefits reinstated after Holcomb announced Indiana would stop participating in the program, which was created through the Federal CARES Act as a means of providing extra support to people whose employment status was affected by it. Governor Holcomb announced Indiana would end participation months early to drive people back to work. However, economists cautioned unemployment is not the driving force behind the worker shortage. A trial court ruled in favor of the Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis, and the state started providing federal benefits once again in July. Wow, what a shocking turn of events. Judge James S. Kirsch wrote in an opinion Tuesday the lower court abused its discretion. That's the crazy thing about these rulings of different judges and different courts, is that one judge can be very, very different from another judge. And a lot of times it comes down to their political opinions. As you can see, literally right here, this judge wrote in an opinion that the other court abused its discretion. So one judge can have a very different opinion than another judge. And that's why we've seen some states win their lawsuits, some states lose their lawsuits, and I really should say some people have won their lawsuits versus the states. Some people have won, some people have lost, some people have won and then lost, some people have lost and then won, had them overturned. They've gone to the Court of Appeals, and we've literally seen some states' case go completely different directions. And it really, a lot of it has to do with what judge happens to be presiding over the case and what particular judge their point of view or their political opinions happen to be. Really comes down to a coin flip, who the particular judge happens to be and what their political opinion happens to be on the case. I don't know if that's how a case should be decided. Let me know your thoughts, because I mean, we're dealing with the fate of hundreds of thousands of people in any particular case or any particular state. I don't know if there should be a better decision or better type of process here when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of people in a state potentially getting a lot of money here. Let me know your thoughts. So yeah, so a trial court originally ruled in favor of the concerned clergy of Indianapolis, and the state started providing again the federal unemployment benefits, ruling against the governor and for the people. And then now this judge wrote in an opinion on Tuesday that the lower court abused its discretion, then ruled against that court, and when it granted a preliminary injunction to the plaintiffs in its original lawsuit and prevented the state from pulling out of the federal benefit programs. Two judges concurred. Despite the ruling Tuesday, Green considered the lawsuit successful because it forced the state to pay out the rest of the federal unemployment program. The federal payment runs out on September 4th. Holcomb celebrated the decision Tuesday and said, quote, the state took the appropriate steps to terminate its participation in these optimal federal unemployment programs, and its ruling confirms that we had the legal authority to do so, even though it looks like the payments will continue. So yeah, I will keep you up to date on any other future information going on with this state and any other states. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're from Indiana and if you think your payments are going to continue to the end. It looks like they have to give a 30-day notice, so I think the payments are going to continue. Let me know your thoughts. Now, the September unemployment bonuses, or the unemployment bonuses, the $300 per week, and the extra weeks of unemployment per state that go along with that, are set to end on the week ending of September 6th, or September 6th. So this will end for over 7 million people unless Congress decides to extend this. And by Congress, I really mean the Democrats, because, well, largely Republicans are against this and Democrats are for this. And remember, Democrats just happen to be in control of the House and the Senate right now. So the Democrats could, if they want to, extend unemployment benefits in this next stimulus package. Now, it's not a huge, like, I wouldn't put it at 100% chance or 75% chance. I would say it's something like 50% at the most of if I think it'll happen. But it is something that could happen in this next package. As you can see here on my list, I have unemployment benefits here on list on number 22 here. Again, these are really in no particular order. It's just again, no particular order. So again, a lot of Democrats are for unemployment benefits. A lot of Republicans are not. But remember, Republicans are in the minority at this particular moment. Next year, in November of 2022, the new will happen, and then things could change in the House and the Senate. So, but for right now, the Democrats can put anything they want in this next stimulus package. Now, the Republican governors could overturn this in some states. But remember, there's all these lawsuits going on that are kind of actually overturning that as well in some of these states. And that'll kind of have a role to play going forward. But they could extend the unemployment benefits going forward in this. So these are kind of all the things that are being put forward in this next stimulus package. And of course, we know that the Democrats, or maybe I should say President Biden and the Biden administration, did just do the 3 stimulus provisions here without Congress in the last like 2 weeks. And that was number 1 just yesterday. Families who receive food stamps, or the SNAP program, will receive the largest benefits increase in the history of SNAP, which was a 25% increase, which will start in October. So in about a little bit over a month. So a 25% permanent increase per month. This will be on average a $36 increase per person. The average person that receives SNAP receives $121 per person. I understand that some people don't receive that. Some people only receive about $20 per month, but some people receive more than the average. Some people receive $200 per person. The average person receives $121. So the average person will receive an additional $36 per month, which is like $400 and some dollars per year. Okay, per year. So it's a pretty decent amount. And this is a permanent increase. Again, permanent, which means it will go on forever. This is just number 1, which was done just yesterday. Number two, which was done within the last 2 weeks, is the Biden administration has extended the student loan payment pause and interest pause. So there'll be no interest and no payments, no penalties or anything like that until 2022, January of 2022. This will help out 40 million Americans. Also, the SNAP increase will actually help out 42 million Americans, while advocates urge cancellation, student loan cancellation. President Biden has said in the past he's willing to do at least $10,000 of student loan cancellation. We will have to see if he does that sometime in the near future. I expect that will be after this next stimulus package passes. I don't think he's going to do that and muddy the waters, so to say, and kind of take everybody's eye off the ball this next stimulus package. I think it will be after this next stimulus package passes. And I also think that might lead to other types of debt forgiveness for people who didn't get the student loan debt cancellation. Like, will there be credit card debt cancellation? Will there be mortgage debt cancellation? Will there be tax debt cancellation? Because when they do student loan debt cancellation, there could be other types of debt cancellation for the other people who didn't get student loan debt cancellation. By the way, President Biden has already canceled $3 billion of student loans this year. This is not everybody's student loans, just to make that clear. This is actually just a drop in the bucket, but he has canceled $3 billion of student loans for specific conditions for specific people. And you may need to apply if these apply to you. Number one, Biden canceled $1 billion of student loans for 72,000 student loan borrowers. This is for people that had their schools defrauded them or their schools closed on them. Number two, Biden canceled about $1.3 billion of student loans for 41,000 borrowers with total and permanent disabilities. Number three, he canceled student loan relief for 1.1 million student loan borrowers who defaulted on their FFELP loans. And they canceled $500 million of student loan debt for 18,000 student loan borrowers under borrower defense to student loan repayment rules. If you think you might be eligible for one of those conditions, just go to Google, type in student loan forgiveness, and go to the studentaid.gov website, the official student loan aid government website, and apply for it or look at the conditions. Next up, Senator Bernie Sanders on the next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package on the Senate floor.
That many of my Republican colleagues are in a bit of shock. They're in a bit of shock now. They are finding it hard to believe that the president and the Democratic caucus are prepared to go forward in addressing the long neglected needs of working families and not just the 1% and wealthy campaign contributors. That's not the way things usually happen around here. Usually it's the big money interests, the campaign contributors, and the lobbyists who call the tunes. But not today. Today, we move this country in a very different direction. Mr. President, the American people are sick and tired of growing income and wealth inequality in our country, where two people now own more wealth than the bottom 40%, where the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 92%, and where 45% of all new income has gone to the top 1% since 2009. In other words, the people on top are doing phenomenally well. Meanwhile, while the very rich have become much richer, the gross unfairness of our current tax system has allowed in a given year some of the wealthiest people in our country and some of the largest and most profitable corporations to not pay a nickel in a given year in federal income tax, not one penny. Well, that is about to change. The American people want a government which represents all of us and not just the few. And this legislation is going to ask the wealthiest people in our country to start paying their fair share of taxes so that we can address the needs of working families, the elderly, the children, the sick, and the poor. And despite what some of my Republican colleagues may be saying, no one in America who makes less than $400,000 a year will pay a nickel more in federal taxes. In fact, what we are looking at in this budget proposal is an historic tax cut for working families and the middle class.
We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. I'll keep you up to date. New videos, I'll keep you up to date.